Never feel like you have enough time to work on your game designs? So does Ken, who sent in a question about how can he carve out a little more time to work on his games as well as improve his skills. He's got a full-time job and an active family life, and he's trying to figure out how to balance all of these things in his life. Hey GBs, I hope you are having a geektastic day. It's time for a Veda Q&A. A lot of times when I get asked this question, it's from people who were in the same position that I was when I decided to go all in and study game development at the Guildhall. I didn't have a mortgage, I didn't have kids, I wasn't married. I had a fiance, but he was totally willing to come along with me. So I was able to focus and pursue my passion. Ken's in a different place though. He's in the place that I'm in now, where you have to prioritize what you want to do. And of course, I think the number one priority always needs to be your family. That's the commitment you've made, especially if you've got young kids. They need your time more than you need to be designing games. Don't lose heart. Realize that life comes in seasons. While your kids are small now, they won't always be. And while it seems that work is taking a lot of your time, there will come a point at which you are able to find little pockets of time that you can carve out to work on your game designs. Although it can seem that you have hundreds of ideas in your head that you have to get out now, the only person who's putting that pressure on you is you. Game development is a long process. It's a marathon, not a sprint. If you rush a game design, then you're just going to end up with a pile of crap that nobody wants to play. You need to give your idea time to mature. You need to develop it, you need to play test it, and also you need to give it time for people to hear about it and to get excited about it if you bring it to Kickstarter or to a publisher. You don't want to just shove it out there to crickets. In your question, you mentioned that you have 50 ideas all vying for your time. That's great. Write them all down and pick the most viable one to start with. Make sure it's not your biggest design. Kevin O'Gorman's interview had a great tip that you never want to start with your baby when it's the first time that you're learning how to game design. You can find a link to that interview in the description below, and there's probably going to be a card that pops up around here for it as well. Now, if you've got small kids that you want to spend time with, that's great. Pick a design that maybe they would enjoy. One of my current favorite designs is one that I've been making with my 4-year-old daughter. She really likes it, as well as the other kids that we've had an opportunity to play test it with. It may be a long time before it ever sees shelves, but she is having fun and I'm having fun, and that's a lot of the reason that I do this. If you have dreams of getting into game dev to strike it rich on Kickstarter or Steam, well, you're gonna have a long time to wait. All of those overnight successes took years of planning and production and hard work to get there. Angry Birds may seem like it came out of nowhere to become an overnight success, but the company who made it actually had a bunch of games before that put them in the position to succeed when that time and that formula was right. Sometimes it's just a case of carving out a little bit more time for yourself in your day. 5 minutes, 10 minutes here or there, maybe your lunch hour, maybe you don't get to watch Netflix every night, and this is time that you can instead spend on your game designs. Now, with the schedule as busy as it sounds Ken's is, unless he carves out time to work on his games, it's really going to be more of a hobby. But if you are passionate about something, then you will make the time. You will hustle your butt off to make it happen. Something else you can do is to find a like-minded partner to help cover what you can't. So maybe somebody who's more interested in the marketing and business side, but not really in developing the games. So you get to be the brain and they get to be the business muscle. So Ken, my answers for you are to prioritize. What is it that you want from this experience of game development? Do you just enjoy the process? Do you actually want to have a published game? Do you want to have a business that evolves from all of these designs? If you just want one published game, then take your designs to a publisher and they'll be able to handle a lot of the legwork, like finding artists and all the marketing and helping you refine that idea. It basically comes down to you being truly honest with yourself. And once you can do that, you'll have the answer. Have you been in the same position as Ken? What advice would you give him? Let me know in the comments below. There's a lot of big stuff happening here at geekBOLD. If you want to be the first to know, either go to geekbold.com and join the crew, or follow the link in the description below. That's it for today, GBs. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you showing up and getting your geek on. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss an episode as we dive deeper into game development, game careers, and crowdfunding so that you can get your ideas and creativity out there into the world. I'll see you next video. Let's make games.